guys, welcome to your notes video for our next unit. So this video is going to tell you exactly how to cut and glue everything down for our unit 4 set of notes that we are going to get started on. So in your math notebook, you need to go to the page that is the last front and back page that you used, and you're not going to use the back page, remember. So you need a brand new page that is front and back fully blank, and then you're going to take your tab divider again. I accidentally printed it on the same color as the last one, and because I didn't want to waste the paper, we're going to have 2 of the same colors and it'll be fine. But it should say Unit 4 Algebraic Expressions, and we're going to be learning about exponents, order of operations, evaluating expressions, writing expressions, properties of expressions, distributive property, combining like terms. And then I want you guys to add in a little box for simplifying expressions, because I forgot to add that in before I printed as well. So we will also be simplifying expressions. So right there. So then remember, same thing you do as always with these tab dividers. There are 3 lines. You're going to fold on the center line. So fold on that center and then open it all the way back up. And you're going to put glue on the entire back side. You want to make sure there's plenty of glue, and then we're going to fold it, turn it over, and you are going to glue it down so that the first line lines up with the edge of the paper. So not the line that you folded on, but the first of the 3 lines, and then you will turn the page over, and then you will fold it over where you already folded your line. Hopefully yours turns out better than mine. My line must have not have been very well. There we go. So then glue that down, and you now have your Unit 4 tab divider, and you may now title that page Unit 4 Algebraic Expressions. And there we go. So there is our very first page on our tab dividers. So then what we're going to do is we're going to turn the page over, and the page that is on the back of your tab divider page, you are going to take the next pink sheet of paper that is titled with exponents, and you are going to trim this up. You can actually cut off this beware part. We do not need it, because we are not doing negatives. So you do not need this beware part. You may cut that out and throw it away. And then trim off the sides, the top, and the other side, because we want it to fit into our notebook. And then we will turn it over, put glue on it, and we will glue it down to the back of the tab divider page. And there we go. There is the first page of notes. The next page we are going to leave blank. I've got something else that's going to go on that page that we are not cutting and gluing there. So then you are going to turn the page over, and then on the back of that page, we are going to put down our order of operations, which is on this orange sheet of paper. If you have to print it, you need to be careful, because you need to print it front to back in order to get it to work. So be really careful following my directions for cutting. So we are going to cut across this line on the bottom, cut that off. Then we are going to cut down the side, we're going to cut across the top. And then we're going to cut along the sides. And I'm cutting right up to that dotted line that you see. I don't want to cut on the dotted line, but I want to cut right up to that dotted line. Then I'm going to fold the explanation side over the math side. And I'm going to fold that over. So now it looks like so. And then I'm going to cut along these dotted lines. So now the P can open up on its own. And then I'm going to cut here. And the E can then open up. And then I'm going to cut here. The M and the D can open up, and then the A and the S can open up. And then I will flip it over, and the part that says this area is not used, back of notes, that is where I will put glue on the back of, and I will glue it down. Now I'm going to glue it to the side of my notebook. That way then I can open it up, and this is right on the paper, and it'll be much easier to write on this way if it is on this side. Okay, so there is the order of operations page. We have a few more. You should have gotten 2 white pieces of paper that look like little pizza slices. They should be different. So make sure that you don't have 2 of the same pages. They need to be 2 separate pages. So if you're missing one of them, you need to go and print the one page that you are missing. And you guys can do this however you want. You can cut these out individually and glue them down. I am honestly just going to trim it up and glue down the entire page at once. You can cut off the part that says order of operation pizza slices. So I'm going to just literally trim it up because I don't want to take a whole bunch of time to cut and glue. But if you want to take a bunch of time to cut and glue, you're totally welcome to. But I'm just going to do one giant sheet. I'm going to cut. And then I am going to glue it down to the page right after the orange page. So that way I see my order of operations. And then I see some pizza slices, the one that has 5 squared up at the top. Then I'm going to turn, and on the back of my first pizza page, I am then going to trim up my other pizza page. Same thing, you can trim off that order of operations pizza slice title. I'm mainly just trimming it up so it'll fit in my notebook a little bit better than a full sheet of paper. Put glue on the back of it, and then I'm going to glue it down. So that way I have order of operations, pizza slice, pizza slice. Okay, so those are our pages for order of operations. Okay, my next page that I want to glue down is this green piece of paper, and we're going to glue it down to the next page in our notebook. So right after the pizza page, we're going to want to glue down this green piece of paper that says Evaluating Algebraic Expression Notes. So I'm going to trim it up along the bottom, trim up along the sides. The top, I don't need the name and date, so I'm going to keep the part that says Evaluating Algebraic Expression Notes though. But I'm going to take off the name and date. And then I'm going to trim up the side so that when I'm done trimming, it looks like this. Then I will flip it over. Glue on the back. And then there we go. Okay, so there is some evaluating algebraic expression notes on green. The back of that page I'm actually going to leave blank because we'll do some more examples over the evaluating algebraic expressions. So this next page that I want you to glue down is this purple page right here. That is words and phrases for math symbols. You guys can once again trim it up separately and glue them down. That is your choice. To save on time, I'm just going to trim it up. And I'm going to cut off that title since I can barely read it anyway. And I'm just going to trim up the purple page that has a bunch of different words and operations on it. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to glue it down. Right there. So words and phrases. So I should have a blank page, words and phrases. Then I'm going to turn the page again, and on the back of the words and phrases page, sorry, my Zoom is freaking out on me. Okay, I think it's done. Make sure it's in focus now. Okay. You should then be taking the blue sheet of paper, which says writing algebraic expression notes up at the top, and we're going to trim that up as well. So trim off the bottom, trim off the sides, and then the top, same thing as that last page. I want to keep the part that says writing algebraic expression notes, but I don't need the part that says name and date. So I'm going to cut that part off, and it should look like this when I am done. I'm then going to flip it over. Put some glue on the back, and I am going to glue it down directly behind the page that has the purple words on it. So words, purple, blue, writing algebraic expression notes. I'm then going to leave the next page blank. I'm going to tear mine out because it's got a rip in it. So I'm going to leave this page blank right here. And then I'm going to flip, and on the back of that blank page, guys, I am so sorry. I have no idea what's going on with my thing. It keeps wanting to zoom in. No idea why. But then I'm going to take the properties of math notes page, and I'm going to trim that page up. So I'm going to trim off the bottom, trim off the sides, and then same thing, I want to keep the properties of math notes part, but I can get rid of the name and date part, and then finish trimming up the side so that when I am done, it should look like this. Then I'm going to turn it over, put glue on the back of it, and glue it down. And that should be glued down, so it's blue, blank, properties of math notes. Okay? Then after the properties of math notes, I'm then going to leave the next page blank for more property math notes. And then I'm going to turn my page again, and on the back of that blank page, I'm going to take this distributive property notes, and I'm going to trim it up. Same thing, I want to keep where it says the distributive property notes, but I can get rid of the name and the date section. And then we are going to glue that page down. Right there. Okay, so you guys should now have everything glued into your notebook. Okay, so let's go back to the very beginning of this section. And zoom in a little. Okay, so we should have Unit 4 Algebraic Expressions title page. Then I'm going to go over to the next page, and you should have exponents. I'm now going to have you start labeling your pages that are not labeled, which is going to be the next page. We're going to title it Perfect Squares. So that page is going to be titled Perfect Squares, and we'll talk about perfect squares when we get to it. Then if you turn the page again, you should have Order of Operations, the orange page. Then you should have one of the pizza slice pages. Turn the page again, you have another pizza slice page. Go to the next page, you should have Evaluating Algebraic Expression Notes page. Then if you flip, you have a blank page, and I'm going to have you title it Evaluating Algebraic Expressions. We'll do more Evaluating Algebraic Expressions on that page. And when you're done writing that down, go to the next page and title this Words and Phrases to Math Symbols. Okay, once you are done writing that page down, then you will flip to the next page, and you will have Writing Algebraic Expression Notes, the blue page, and then the next page is a blank page, so I want you to title that as well with Writing Algebraic Expressions, so we can do more practice on this page. When you're done writing that down, you turn the page again, and we have Properties of Math Notes. Then on the next page next to it, I also want you to write Properties of Algebra up at the top. When you are done writing that down, you may go to the next page. And the next page is your gold page that has distributive property notes. Then the next page, I also want you to write down distributive property. Okay, so those two pages will be distributive property. Then you're going to flip again. And these next two pages, we're going to talk about combining like terms. But I did not and do not have a page for you to glue. So these will all be handwritten notes for here, combining like terms. So there will be 2 pages for combining like terms. And then when you've written your 2 pages on combining like terms, you will turn the page again. And these last 2 pages will be simplifying expressions. And the last page, simplifying expressions. So that's all you need to do for your notes. We will pick up there the next time that I see you guys. And that is what I need you to do. So make sure that you have this done. And then on Google Classroom, you need to take a picture of this last page that says Simplifying Expressions and submit this page for your homework assignment on Google Classroom. And then you will be all ready to go for our next unit. And I look forward to working through our algebraic expressions unit with you guys. Thanks so much for watching and doing your notes. I will see you in class. Goodbye.